a bit easier to do. That's my. I'm meant to stick those down. Maybe not on that page. I might stick them down somewhere else. That's the second one I did yesterday. So I'm going to pick one of these and have a go. I think I'll start with this one because it's got some nice bits in it. So I think I can make something out of it. So I'm going to try and pull out this central bit where I've got the these thistly kind of marks coming up through and all this light. I think you can sort of see that in the middle it's kind of where most of the work is. I think a lot of the time that happens with my paintings when I'm working like this, it's you tend to have a lot of the interesting stuff in the middle, and it kind of fizzles out a little bit to the edges. But it's still nice to work on large pieces of paper because you make a nice big mark when you're working on large bits of paper, and then you start cropping them down. You get a big mark in a small space, and it still has that kind of impact, but it's got slightly intensified, I think. So I'm going to try and keep all that. I like all that. So let's have that. Never know. So I think that will work. Don't need to take any more off the other side, I don't think. This was more or less my palette down here. It's quite nice when it sort of breaks up. So down the bottom, I'm looking at this and I know you kind of think how much of it did you lose, you take off, but I know I was speaking to some of you yesterday about it. You can afford to be quite brutal with it sometimes, because I think if you look at taking off that bottom section, I don't really feel like I'm losing anything, because when you see what's actually there's not really much going on here, and it certainly isn't anything that I haven't got higher up. So I can lose all that down there without actually losing anything, and it just tightens the image up and stops it fading away to the bottom as well, gives it a nice solid base to the image. Do that. And I might take a little bit more off again. I think sometimes you can just if you sort of turn it around so you can see. Sometimes you could just cover it up and just kind of just say at what point does it actually start to get weaker? Do I actually need all that? I could probably lose a little bit more, probably to sort of about there, because I feel like at that point it's still not really. I'm not really losing anything I haven't already got. It just gets a bit fiddly sometimes when you're tearing thinner bits off. And the same with the top. I think I can lose. I'm not sure about all this dark, but I might. If it was on the edge, it might be. Just think if this dark area here, if it's if it becomes the corner of the image, it sort of becomes a lot stronger. Actually, that's quite nice, because then I've got this dark bit this side, and it's kind of echoed by this light bit over here. And it's things like that kind of happen sort of slightly accidentally, but you can kind of look at it and go, if you make these nice big bold marks on your paper, then when you start cropping them down, you end up with these kind of interesting sort of arrangements of different colours and paint marks, and actually that going that way is quite nice. And I've got that light bit there, and I've got this dark bit here, and I kind of feel like it's slightly echoed by that bit down there as well. So it's starting to come together as a rhythm. It's got a kind of rhythm, and these nice sort of nice pencil drawn marks going up through all the way through the image, kind of tying it together. So I'm going to do that. But I didn't really have an idea that was going to be there when I was doing it. I was just trying to make some big marks that were interesting. Because if you do that, you usually end up with something that you can work with. Yeah, so I'll probably stick that down there. So something like that. So get to a point where you've got a piece that you can make a start with, and I may put some collage into it. I'll see how I feel about it when I've stuck it down. The thing about doing the collage is it's not like a rule. You don't have to put collage into it. It's just if if you feel like it needs, if you feel like it needs something, then you can add something in if you can find the right bit. It's quite absorbent, this paper, that's why I'm using all that glue. There's quite a lot of glue. It's sucking quite a lot of the glue into the paper, so. That's when you discover you've got your sketchbook upside down. Then it's fine. That doesn't really matter.